Thank you. Yes, and just on the title of the talk, is that better? Yeah. Just on the title of the talk, I don't believe there is an energy crisis, actually. I believe there's an energy management crisis, which is a slightly different thing. I don't want people to frighten you, and I don't want to put any misinformation into this talk whatsoever, so I'm going to focus on facts. I'm a scientist. I focus on numbers and facts. It's actually manageable through good policy making and technology. So politics are actually ruling this UK debate on energy. And that's, for a scientist, that's really obvious. So we need to have a more democratic press. We need to have more public debates like this. And I think this event last year was a real eye-opener for me. So the first point is, I don't believe there's an energy crisis. The second point is, last year was a baptism of fire for me coming to this event because it was really helpful to hear this debate going on. The debate format is incredibly valuable because you get to hear things from people and get to question them, and then we get to debate it amongst ourselves. And that is the way to engage and to educate and to exchange. So for me, this is a really valuable experience, and I hope everybody in the room finds it that way today. As I was discussing with Helen Pankhurst a couple of weeks ago, we still need more women involved in policy making and more female technologists in this debate as well. I still can't believe the Pankhursts are still calling for female emancipation in the UK, but I'm hoping that this will eventually happen. We do have 40% of our MPs now who are female. However, it takes more than that because we are living in a technological age and we need more female techies out there, and we need to encourage women into it, not put them off through violence and threats on the internet. So women and men both have to stand up for women in tech, or we have to face the social consequences. And I think actually part of this debate is part of the social consequences. So, number 3, we need more facts in this debate. And as a scientist, I rely on facts. I look at numbers all day long. I don't really care so much about opinion. I'm much more interested in the facts. So I hope we can exchange those today. Nobody's objective. Not one in the panel is objective. No one in the room is objective. No expert, no politician. We're all subjective. But ideally, through this forum, we can iron out that subjectivity and create an objective opinion. But there are colossal vested interests in energy, and we have to recognise that. We have to understand that these resources are applied to lobby politicians, to misinform people through the press, and to muddy the waters of public debate. So this is why this today is so valuable, and I welcome every question and criticism and hope that we can go through it together. But we also need to encourage disruptors. We need people who will say, hold on a minute, I don't believe that, I want to question it. So that's really invaluable. That's always invaluable in science, it's always invaluable in politics. So the fourth thing, the only way to excavate key facts in this debate is for transparency. I'm looking for transparency in public funding of energy. I've never seen it. I've tried to get it. I've tried to get it in academia. I cannot get it. And I think that's what unites everybody in this room. We're all frustrated by that lack of transparency, and we're actually unable to hold people accountable because we can't actually get to the facts. So we need to demand it, and that is something that we can all do and unite around. There is subsidy in energy everywhere, and we have to understand that. Some of it's historical, it's not purposeful, but it is historical, and it's certainly not focused on renewables. But renewables get subsidy too, don't get me wrong. We have to hold those people accountable for refusing to provide transparency on all subsidy. And then we need to engage expertise, we need to look academics, industrialists, and politicians to create good policy. Winston Churchill had a phrase, we want scientists on tap, not on tap, not on top. And I think that phrase has aged very, very badly in an age of technology. So the fifth point is we cannot repeat these past mistakes. We have made terrible mistakes as a country because we all know in this room that Britain invents things and then we offshore it for somebody else to make money from it. That's what we've done traditionally. Everybody understands that. And everybody, by the way, that I speak to understands that around the world too. So Britain has to give up that habit of invention and shipping it out just at the point it makes money. And on that point, the green economy is the second fastest growing sector in the UK. Technology is number one. We can't now turn our back on technology and say, no, we don't want anything like that here. 97% of our solar in the UK and in Europe is installed from China. So we invented the technology, we developed it, and then we shipped it out. China didn't take it from us. We actually wanted to do that, and America did it also. Lithium was discovered in Britain, and yet we refused to develop the technology. With hydrogen technology, we can't just make the same mistake again. This is foolish to offshore billions per year, as we're doing at the moment. So it's not really a drag on growth if we have to keep it here. It should be a source of growth. And we need to invest. Thank you. We need to invest in sovereign capability in energy. That means we're not reliant on imports of technologies from China or anywhere else. We have to be making the net zero products that we say we need. And that is a good investment. Even if we don't say everything has got to be net zero technologies, it will be part of the portfolio because that is one of the fastest growing sectors in the world right now. So that actually represents good economic policy. We need to level up the playing field across all of those technologies. Certain technologies do get more than others. I have not been able to find how much goes into nuclear energy because despite my questions to government, I've never been told. But it's roughly around £40 billion per year that goes into nuclear science, and that's public funding. That's not private funding. So I'm interested in looking at those numbers and comparing that with hydrogen, which I know it's roughly around 15 million per year, possibly 20 million. But compared to the 40 billion of public resource that we're spending on nuclear, there's a lot of subsidy going into nuclear as far as I can see.
Okay. Thank you very much.